What's what's going on YouTube? Look, back in the reactions today. We got the case behind Christopher Omoregie on Big Brother. You know what I'm saying? Let's get straight into it, man. You know what I'm saying?
I remember thinking on the way to the job, this doesn't make sense because there are cameras everywhere.
What makes it even more shocking was that this was done broad daylight in front of hundreds of witnesses.
He had no chance against the attackers, and there was just him kind of surrounded.
This was the longest and largest known murder investigation the Metropolitan Police has ever carried out.
Christopher, the brother of popular rapper Santan Dave, is currently inside right now and has been serving a long stretch. Today we're going to get into exactly what happened and why he's locked up. 25th of March 2010, Safian got up at 7 and went into his mother's bedroom to get his socks from a drawer the family shared. "Mum, I'm going now," he said before catching the bus. Safian, who was 15 and lived with his brother and two sisters in Acton, West London, and went to Henry Compton School in Fulham, a trip that involved 2 bus rides. But sadly today, this will be the last time he'll be making that journey to school. Now, a girl named Victoria had a problem with him, and she had contacted the rest of the gang involved in this incident the night before on Facebook and BlackBerry messaging and texts to set up a vicious assault on this boy, urging the fellow yobs to come tooled up. The media had said the cowardly A-level student who called herself Missy Mafia on her Facebook page had bought a $3.99 knife set from Argos that was used in this attack in her school lunch break.
The day before the attack, the police broke up a fight between the teenagers from rival schools. But using Facebook and Instant Messenger, they quickly organised another confrontation.
At noon on that day, the 25th of March 2010, 2 months before the general election, he called his mother to say he felt sick and wanted to come home. She told him to stay for a few more hours and phone again if he still felt bad. He said okay and didn't call back. Now, was he really ill, or was his instincts kicking in that something bad was going to happen to him if he left school at the normal time? I'm not too sure. After school finished at 3:15 PM, his mother called to ask where he was. He said, "I'm on my way home." He said, so she closed her shop and headed home to make him tea. His younger sister, then 12, who went to a school nearby, met him at the bus stop, but she was told to go on ahead. When his bus got to Shepherd's Bush, where he had to change, he received a call from a friend. Then instead of going to the bus to Acton, he took the 49 in the opposite direction to Victoria Station, somewhere he had no calls to go. Just before it arrived there, about 5 minutes before, his brother called to see where he was, and he said, "I'm on the way home." He lied. Around half an hour later, at about 5:15 PM, he was targeted during the evening rush hour in the presence and sight of many horrified people. It was at the ticket hall of the District and Circle line at Victoria Station, and it was by a pack of teenagers. It only lasted around 12 seconds, but that was enough to do a lot of damage, and it was even captured on CCTV. He was targeted with many weapons, knives, batons, and other weapons, and kicked and shot with feet. When those 12 seconds were over, he was laying there fatally wounded.
I saw one of the attackers had a kind of a long implement in their hand, and they made a kind of a stabbing motion on the boy who was being attacked, and he was trying to get himself up off the floor.
The samurai sword was produced and a variety of other weapons, and there was then what I've described as an infantry charge across Terminus Place. The group, including Sofian, who were less well armed and fewer numbers, immediately turned and fled.
It was as Sofian tried to make his escape here at Victoria Station that he stumbled and the group caught up with him. Then, in front of hundreds of commuters, they launched a frenzied attack. In just 12 seconds, he was stabbed 10 times and suffered 20 separate injuries.
With no less than 9 stab wounds to his body, and then his teenagers, most of them running off, making an escape to Buckingham Palace Road, where they boarded a C10 bus. But then the police boarded the bus at the next stop, and they were found with weapons amongst them. 2 particular knives, both had been used in the incident, and one was in a bag that belonged to Christopher, Dave's brother, and the other was wrapped in a newspaper that bore your fingerprints. Upon the basis of the evidence provided by the CCTV and those weapons that were found, they were convicted by the jury at the trial. The girl who's on your screen right now is one of the main people in this incident. She's the one that set up the attack and gained all these boys together to take that man's life on that day, and she was picked up throughout on CCTV. Moments after even showed them boarding the bus, and weapons were even waved about clearly on CCTV at this point amongst the youths.
The minute he died, I just don't see it the same. I don't see my house the same, I don't see life the same, I don't see what I used to do the same. Everything is empty. I could never go past and see a child like that and not, you know, I couldn't. I wouldn't even think about my own life. I don't care. I would just see, you know, there's a child, it needs help. If our loss is somebody else's gain, that will be enough for us to carry on this sad life without him.
These are the faces of the others involved. Some convicted of lesser offences and some of murder. All were sentenced to jail terms of 2 years to life.
There was a lot of people involved in this case, and 100 years worth of time was dished out in the sentencing, with Christopher, Dave's brother, getting 18 years inside. Victoria, the woman who helped organise this situation, was given a 12-year sentence for manslaughter and 8 years for GBH, but to run concurrently. Many years later, someone called Mike's Comedy was dragged into the drama surrounding this case and accused of snitching on Dave's brother, and he cleared it up on Snapchat.
Yo, Snapchat, first of all, I just want to thank everyone that's been out here supporting me, Mike's Comedy. It's been a mad weekend, I know, but I just want to let everyone know I'm good. Second of all, I've never been a roadman, I've never been in a gang, and I'll never be a roadman. People are screaming that I'm a snitch when everything was seen on CCTV in Victoria Station, 5 o'clock rush hour. Some people on the TR are talking like they know the whole story, like they were in court with the judge and like they're like, you don't know the story, so just chill out, please, just chill out, big man thing. Anything that I said was not used in court and it didn't put anyone into jail. I repeat, anything that I said was not used in court and it didn't put anyone into jail. The mad thing happened 5 o'clock broad daylight in Victoria. 5 o'clock rush hour. Do you know how much cameras there is, fam? Let's be sensible now. Let's be realistic. Come on. People are talking as if this was last week. This happened over 6 years ago, you know. I'm not a roadman. I've never been a roadman. You feel me?
Brother of the UK rap star Dave has had his murder minimum jail term cut. Christopher, his brother, was one of 3 teenagers found guilty for taking the life of a 15-year-old boy in 2010. He was sentenced to life with a minimum term of 18 years, and now he's set to be released around 2027. His brother was only in his early teens when he got locked up. The High Court has found that the now 28-year-old has made exceptional and unforeseen progress. The High Court's judge ruling included a report from a therapist who conducted the course, who said that his progress was good and he's good at communication, tolerance, warmth and generosity. Early in his sentence, he had described his mother and brothers as protective factors who stood by him and said it was important for him not to let them down again in the future. In the final track of Dave's album Psychodrama, Dave speaks about the incarceration of his brother, who appears on a song via recorded phone calls. With great understanding of his psyche, Dave connects both his worldwide view and ambition to losing family members early in his life. I learned over time, separation issues I describe are probably the reasons that I struggle feeling anything. I ain't got a vision of a marriage or a wedding ring, it's world domination in music or it ain't anything.
I sent this one, y'all. If y'all enjoyed this reaction, man, make sure I put the last day reaction on your screen right now, man. Free his brother, man. Like to video, comment, subscribe. Turn on post notifications. Tell me which one we track to next. Follow me to Grandma Official, link in the description. And we out here, my brothers and sisters.